Welcome back to Talk Game Tuesday. For all the people that don't know, this is just our side show from the Be Different podcast where we just do a recap of all the things that happened in the sports world from the previous weekend. Y'all can listen to Talk Game Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and anywhere else where you listen to your podcast. All at the Be Different podcast. But it's going to be named Talk Game Tuesday, so you're going to know the difference.
As always, y'all can follow us on our social media pages, Instagram @_Be Different Podcast, X @_Be Different Pod. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel, Be Different Podcast.
Yep. I forgot. I haven't even forgotten to introduce my mom like we always do. But y'all know I'm the host, Solomon C. Toy. Y'all already know what it is. Ain't nothing new. But yeah, like she said, go subscribe to the YouTube channel for all the people that don't know. Our first visual show did drop this past weekend.
Yes,
so if you want to go see our faces, man, go tune in there. Go like and subscribe and comment, man. Let us know what y'all think. We definitely got some more visual stuff coming on the way. Top Game Tuesday cannot go visual right now.
It cannot.
Because we got too much stuff going on for it to go visual. But the Be Different Podcast is fully visual now. So every Saturday it will be a YouTube video where you see our faces and it's more than just audio.
Yeah, that's right. Like Solomon said, y'all make sure to go on YouTube and watch the first visual episode. Let us know. Again, we want to send a huge thank you out to Mr. 4A himself, Houston, Mississippi native Will Echols.
Yep.
And can't forget about our boy Tootle. We appreciate you, Tootle.
Hey, y'all. And we've been thinking about adding another guest on the show, another permanent guest. So should we tell us, should we just wait a minute first?
Have you even told him yet?
No, I ain't. I'm just saying. Just asking them. Just how y'all feel about we adding another guest? Man, y'all let us know what y'all think. We added another guest that knows sports. He fun. He'll bring in a lot of more people listening to.
That is correct. But look, I know we talked about this on the podcast Saturday, but Mississippi Football State Championship started Thursday.
Yep.
They start Thursday.
Thursday.
The first game is Class 1A, Velma Jackson and Biggersville.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who I said on the podcast, but I'm going to ride with Velma Jackson, though.
I said Biggerville.
Yeah, y'all did say Biggersville, yeah.
I'm going Biggerville. Biggerville, man, Velma Jackson, they do got Mr. 1A, but I'm still going to ride Biggerville, though. I still got Biggerville winning.
Okay,
I really want to go to that game.
You got a game Thursday.
I know. What time they play? Do you know?
At 4:00. They the first game of the championship Thursday at 4:00.
Oh no! See, they was talking. Well, they said that White was trying to take. But it's off top of them.
This year the games will be in Ole Miss. They'll be in Oxford. So if they go from Thursday to Saturday. I think West Point played Thursday night too, I'm not mistaken.
Now I don't know how they were gonna do it. I know 7A play on Saturday.
Yeah, West Point does play Thursday. They play at 7.
Yeah. I was about to say. I know when they had 6A, the even team, the even number, the even like the rank will play on one day, then I'll play on the other day.
Well,
but with 7A. I don't know how they do it, but like I said, I know Star will play Oak Grove on a Saturday. Like I know this for a fact.
Well, I think that's kind of how they have it now, but I think instead of having just 2 games on Saturday, they're going to have 3 on Saturday, like 2 Thursday, 2 Friday, and 3 Saturday, I think. I could be mistaken.
I don't know about that. They might be right, though.
Yeah, or it might be 3 No, it can't be 3 Friday. It's 2 Thursday, 2 Friday, and the last 3 Saturday.
Yeah. I can see them doing it like that.
But all right, let's get into college football.
Let's get into the college score,
like we said on the podcast Saturday, last weekend was rivalry week.
Yep.
And some of the teams that you thought were going to get blown out, they didn't. They actually made it a game, because it was a rivalry week.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Let's start off with the number 1 team in the country,
yep,
Georgia and Georgia Tech.
That was a better game than what I thought it was going to be.
Georgia beat Georgia Tech 31-23.
Yep. But like I've been saying, though, in all college football season, this Georgia team is not the same Georgia team that we used to seeing. Yeah. Like, they number 1, but they just not dominant like they usually
Right. I agree with that. Georgia quarterback, he threw for an interception and he threw for a touchdown. Their running back had 2 touchdowns, and one of their wide receivers had a touchdown.
Okay, I don't really know their names.
I don't either. That's why I'm not. Yeah. Georgia Tech. How did they get their touchdowns? I guess they got it because
nobody on the offense that got touchdowns.
With the highest stuff, nobody got it.
I really want to expect you to screenshot them stats.
Well, it was the number 1 team in the country, so But moving on to the next game.
The next game, I called it.
Who you
I,
got?
I called it. I told you Michigan will be Ohio State.
Oh, Michigan and Ohio State.
I told
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Michigan beat Ohio State 30-24.
I knew Michigan was gonna win. Ohio State, I haven't watched neither one of them all season, but I just knew Michigan was gonna win.
You know what Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp said?
What they said?
They said Ohio's quarterback, he's good, but he's no C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
And they said they needed a C.J.
Stroud,
Stroud.
that game.
Yeah,
Yeah. But like, again, I haven't heard anything about Ohio State quarterback. Neither then I saw that Marvin Harrison Jr. He had a touchdown, but I feel like in them games you gotta have 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and also what made a big difference, Ohio State quarterback threw for 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that's a big difference too. Turnovers, can't win a game with turnovers.
Michigan quarterback did not throw for any. So
exactly
that, like you said, in a game like that, you go to your star player. And Marvin Harrison Jr., he did have 118 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
But you want to make the big money, you got to get 2 touchdowns,
exactly.
200 yards.
Yeah, like he still had a good game, but still, though, you got to put the team on your back right there. But I'm gonna keep what I got to say in. We just going to go into the next scores.
Washington versus Washington State. Potential Heisman candidate Michael
Penix Jr. Yep.
Washington
pulled it out.
They pulled it out. Washington beat the Washington State 24-21. That game was a lot closer than I thought it would be, but like we said,
it's rivalry. Them boys playing hard, bro. Exactly. They playing their heart out for real. And y'all, we only doing. I meant to say this before we started the score, but we only doing the scores from the team that played on Saturday, all the team that played on Thursday, like the Egg Bowl and Friday. We talked about them on the last episode of the Be Different podcast.
We did. Michael Penix Jr., he had an interception, 2 touchdowns, 204 yards. Washington State quarterback, he also had he had 2 interceptions.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, turnovers made a huge difference in these rivalry games. So
I think Washington won like off a field goal. I think.
Yeah, something like that. I think they did. The next game, Florida State, Florida.
Yep.
Now, if y'all go back and listen to watch the Be Different podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, visual now.
You will see that I said Florida was going to upset Florida State. And I almost was right.
See, y'all almost right. They started off good.
Right.
I get to them. They started off looking good, but they just couldn't finish it out.
Yeah, Florida State beat Florida 24-15. Florida Gators had a lot of dumb penalties in their game.
They did. Like a targeting penalty when he was sliding.
Yep. And then another one, they player spit in one of Florida State players.
They can't be doing no stuff like that.
That's childish. Like, we probably would have had to fight. You spit in my face.
Exactly.
Helmet on the notch. You just don't do that. But Florida State, like I said, they won.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how they do. What's the next? Oh, the next
My
game.
boys, Roll Tide Road.
That was a good game.
That was a good game.
That was a good
game. My boy Jalen Miro threw a bomb and then we pulled it off.
He did. Alabama beat Auburn in the Iron Bowl.
Yep, 27-24.
And like Solomon said, Jalen Milroy, that boy did his thing.
That boy threw a bomb at the end of the game. Back corner.
It was 4th and goal from the 32.
It's like 4th and 30 for real.
No, it was 4th and goal from the 32-yard line.
Like from the 30-yard line.
Yeah. And I don't understand why Auburn didn't rush him. Like, they only rushed 2 football players. Like, he had all the time.
Because you know he about to throw the ball. It's the last play, pretty much the last play, and it's 4th and long. You know he about to throw the ball.
But as long as they gave him, they should have known somebody was going to get open.
And bro wasn't really even open. They just was into each other. He just slightly pushed off and caught the ball.
Caught the ball, he did. And Bama, it allowed Bama's playoff hopes to stay alive.
If they would have lost there, it would have been over. But I'm telling you, we going to be in there when we beat Georgia in the SEC championship.
We're going to get to that. But another crucial factor in this game, Auburn quarterback had 2 interceptions. Again, turnovers.
Turnover been going on all week. You see, you can't win a game with turnovers, bro.
That's turnovers, and that's what helped Bama win it. Kentucky and Louisville. Kentucky pulled it off 38-31.
Yep. They really surprised me, though, because I thought Louisville was going to win that game.
I did, too.
But Kentucky ain't no pushover, though, neither.
Yeah, Kentucky been on the come-up.
Mm-hmm.
LSU and Texas A&M. LSU won 42-30.
LSU winning these games, but they defense give up a lot of points.
A lot of points, yeah.
Like, they defense give up a lot. Like, they team, they be playing, like, averaging 30 points a game against them, bro.
Yeah. But let's talk about the college football playoff rankings. They have come out before we recorded this.
Mm-hmm. They come out every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, number 1, Georgia.
Yep.
2, Michigan.
Of course.
3, Washington. 4, Florida State. Oregon is 5, and Ohio State, is 6. So
I thought you were gonna say the whole top 10.
Top 10, Bama 8, Missouri 9, and Penn State 10.
Texas at 7.
Oh yeah, I skipped Texas at 7. And Ole Miss barely missed the top 10. They number 11.
Yep.
So
this right here, it don't surprise me at all, cause Ohio State lost.
Yeah.
They ain't undefeated no more. All the top 4 are all undefeated.
Now I think this weekend is gonna cause a major shakeup in these playoff rankings.
It is. Go ahead.
Because you got Georgia versus Bama,
Oregon versus Washington,
Oregon versus Washington, and Florida State versus Louisville. Let's just say, hypothetically, Alabama beat Georgia.
We going in the top 4. We gonna make college football playoff.
Alabama beats Georgia. Washington beats Oregon, and Florida State loses to Louisville. So they will give you Bama, Michigan, Washington. Who got their 4th spot?
All right.
Georgia or Texas?
Listen. All right. If that happened right there, obviously, I'm already calling over it. We beat Georgia. Alabama is beating Georgia in the SEC championship, and we gonna make the college football playoff. Okay. When we beat Georgia, they're gonna put it. Well, okay. I'm gonna say that for last because if Washington beat Oregon and we beat Georgia, Washington going number 1.
Okay.
Washington jumping to number 1.
Okay.
Well, who Michigan got?
I don't know. Go ahead. So I'll look it up.
But depending on who Michigan play, if Washington beat Oregon, Washington gonna jump. And Florida State lose to Louisville, Washington gonna jump up to number 1. Because we gonna beat Georgia. All right.
Michigan got Iowa.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's an easy game. Well, since they play Iowa, I don't see Michigan losing to Iowa. So they're going to move. Michigan going to be number 1. Washington going to be number 2. Alabama going to be number 3. Then if Florida State lose, if Florida State lose to Louisville, it's going to depend on if Oregon win, if Ohio State win, and if Texas win. If all 3 of them teams win, I don't know what they going to do, but the college football playoff committee going to have a hard decision to make.
Also, but listen though, like you said, Bama beat Georgia.
Yes.
So that's going to be Bama, Michigan, and Washington, the top 3.
Solidified. They're going to be solidified.
Do you put your one-loss team's going to be Georgia? Let's say Texas win that game. Texas.
Let's say Ohio State win that game.
Ohio State and Florida. Florida State. Yeah. There's 4 one-loss teams.
Exactly.
Which one deserves to get this spot? Personally, I would say Georgia. Put 2 SEC teams in there.
You say that because we think SEC teams are the dominant team.
Yeah.
But at the same, know what? I'm gonna stay around with that. But I was about to say Florida State, but I forgot their quarterback hurt. If they would have had Jordan Travis, I would have said Florida State because Georgia been number 1 all season and ain't played nobody really. And now they got the Bama, a team that actually had their level competition, and they lost. But Florida State don't have their quarterback. Yeah, they just hypothetically, but so
and
you said
I say put Georgia in their 4th spot because honestly, Texas got Oklahoma State this weekend.
That's gonna be a good game.
That's gonna be a good game. I can see them Oklahoma State beating them. So Texas lose, they automatically knocked out.
Exactly. Who Ohio State got?
Nobody.
Mm-mm. So they just gonna be a one-loss team then.
It's championship week.
I know that. Okay, so they just gonna be Ohio State. They automatically just a
one-loss team. Yeah.
So they looking at this week, hoping that Texas lose. And Oregon lose. And Washington beat Oregon.
Yeah.
And Washington a 9.5 point underdog in
I was just gonna bring that up. Yeah, they got, even though Washington already done beat them this season,
they underdogs in that game.
Underdog. Yeah. That's gonna be good. It's gonna be an interesting weekend.
The college football playoff committee they gonna have an interesting week next week after this weekend.
And I think they released these on Sunday. I think this gonna come out Sunday. The new list will come out this coming up Sunday.
Because it's college football playoff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this championship week and stuff.
Yeah. So they're going to have a rough time.
It's like if everything happens the way we just said it's gonna happen, it's gonna be rough.
Exactly. Like, it's gonna be rough. Really? The only team that really just got their college football playoff solidified is
Michigan.
It's Michigan.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. And they just can't go out there playing around with Iowa. But, I mean, who got Iowa beating Michigan?
Exactly. Anything else for college?
Nah, I think that's about it for college football.
All right, moving on to the NFL.
NFL, man. NFL.
All right, you got the Falcons and Saints played Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons won 24-15.
Will called it.
I was just going to say, Will was the only one that picked the Falcons.
Okay, I said the Saints.
Yep, and they pulled it off.
Yeah, I watched that game, man. Jesse Bateman went crazy.
Yeah,
he had
we
a pick
did
six
watch that
and
game.
have a 4 fumble.
The Steelers and Bengals. The Steelers pulled it off 16-10.
I said that, though. The Bengals, bro, without Joe Burrow, y'all can have the receivers, but Joe Burrow was the quarterback. I don't even know who his backup is.
I don't either, but you know what Ryan Clark said on ESPN the other day?
What did he say?
The Steelers going to accidentally get in the playoffs on accident.
Yeah, like literally accidentally get in the playoffs.
Because, I mean, like,
Cause they
winning.
Bro,
they finding ways to win.
They are winning. They playing garbage, but they winning,
yes,
bro.
Yeah, so the Steelers gonna accidentally get in the playoffs on accident. Yeah, that's gonna happen. The next game we got for y'all,
Titans versus the Panthers.
The Titans pulled it off 17-10.
Man, give my boy Bryce Young some help.
And like,
please.
Okay, you know the Panthers fired their head coach this week, right?
I didn't
yesterday.
know that.
They fired their head coach yesterday. And honestly, I don't think that was a good move because, like you just said, you ain't bringing in no help for Bryce Young.
Exactly.
Who he throwing the ball to? Who running the? Anybody know who the Carolina Panthers running back is?
Exactly, man. Bro has no help. Y'all firing the head coach. Need to be bringing in some people, drafting some people to get him, drafting people and trading people to get him some help.
Exactly. Like, you firing the coach, but I really don't think the coach is the problem.
Exactly. The coach can't. He drawing up the play. He just ain't got nobody out there to make the play.
Exactly. So they gonna have to do better. The Colts and the Buccaneers. The Colts won 27-20.
Man, the Colts surprised me. I had the Buccaneers going in there.
I told you the Colts was gonna win.
Going there and dominate. Hey, speaking of the Colts, I saw something earlier saying that Jonathan Taylor hurt.
Yeah, he having surgery on his thumb.
Yep.
He was already on IR at the beginning of the season. Now he out again.
Oh man.
The Giants pulled it off 10-7.
They did.
Man,
I called that. I knew John. Yeah. That was a good sorry game.
Good sorry game. You think the Patriots gonna get rid of Bill?
Man, I don't know if it's Bill. I don't know if it's the player. I don't know. Bill just need to retire. He going out bad right now.
But listen though, like I was watching First Take the Monday morning.
Yeah.
And they were talking about Bill pretty much pushed Tom up out of New England and sent him to Tampa.
He did. That was the story. That
was
like.
yeah. And so, like, they're saying Tom was the one who made stuff happen. Everybody thought for the longest it was Bill coaching, Bill. But now Tom gone and they ain't doing nothing. But my whole thing is this too. Like, you know these men are not going to play forever. To me, they never did bring in anybody to back up Tom Brady.
They didn't, like,
you know?
Bro, Tom Brady back up, like, Tom Brady was never hurt.
Well, he was hurt that one season, like Matt Castle, but
exactly. Man, Tom Brady was barely hurt. He didn't miss any games, and like, bro, like even when they was blowing teams, I don't even remember them putting the backup in the game for Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So like Tom Brady literally with the Patriots played forever.
Yeah.
Like literally, regardless of who backups he had, he played forever.
And like,
you gotta think about it. You saying Tom Brady did? I did. Tom Brady had Gronk at tight end, Edelman at receiver, Blunt at running back. Like he had a team.
He had some people around him. I agree with that. Now I do agree with that. And
then they had
had some defense. I was just gonna say he had some defensive monsters too. But I don't know what they're gonna do in New England. But Mac Jones,
I don't know, man. Mac Jones, his rookie season was his best season.
Pretty much,
been going down ever since. All his
since.
stats went down ever since his rookie season. Each year.
Now the next game, it was a good game, and I think this is gonna be a good rivalry for upcoming years.
Yeah, Jaguars
and the Texans, Sunshine versus CJ.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good battle for some years.
Yeah,
for real though.
Jacksonville pulled it off 24. 21. The Texans missed a game tying field goal.
Yeah,
and he missed it by
just a little
that
bit.
much.
If they were CJ Stroud just got him about 1 yard.
Yeah,
closer.
even I ain't even gonna say a full yard, a half a
yard.
Yeah.
For real. I feel like if they go to overtime, Texas pull that out.
Yeah, and then I saw today on ESPN, the Texans released that kicker.
Dang, for real.
Yep. But the thing is, when they during the game, they was talking about him. He was at home on the couch. The Texans called him that Tuesday to come be their kicker. And they released him today.
No, I don't say you release him like that. You gotta give him some time.
He was at home on the couch.
That's what I'm saying. Like, come on, that's a long field goal.
Yeah, that was a very long field goal. Trevor Lawrence in that game was 23 of 38, 364 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. CJ Stroud was 26 of 36, 304 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Etienne Jr., 20 carries, 56 yards. CJ Stroud was the Texans' leading rusher, too. 6 carries, 47 yards, and a touchdown.
Okay, that boy doing everything.
Okay, Calvin Ridley, your Bama boy for the Jaguars. 5 reception, 89 yards, and a touchdown. I don't know who Ian Collins is for the Texans.
Nico Collins.
Okay, but he had 7 receptions, 104 yards, and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that boy CJ Stroud been balling. Like I said, that's going to be a good battle for upcoming years. For real. And he don't throw a lot of interceptions neither, though.
Yeah. It was a good game.
It was a good game for real. I feel like I said, if he would have made that field goal, I think Texas pulled that out in overtime.
Out in the end. Rams Cardinals. The Rams won 37-14.
Man, that was just a dominating game from the Rams from the start to the finish.
Yep. Chiefs Raiders. The Chiefs won 31-17. At the beginning of this game, though,
it was a good game.
The Raiders were getting the Chiefs the business.
That was a good game for real.
Yeah, that was a very good game.
But the Chiefs
they got more firepower than the Raiders. Yeah. And then you got Patrick Mahomes versus a backup quarterback that I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, I think I don't know if he a rookie. I'm not gonna say he a rookie. I don't know.
Yeah, but the next game, this was a good game. It went to overtime.
Yep, Eagles and the Bills.
That
was a better game than what I thought it was gonna be for real. Josh Allen showed up.
Yeah. The Eagles.
But I told you that though. I said that.
And Tudor picked the Bills.
He did.
On the podcast, he did. Yeah. The Bills pulled it off 37-34.
Mm-hmm.
Not the Bills.
The Eagles.
The Eagles pulled it off 37-34. That was a good game.
But see, I feel though, if Josh Allen would have just made that pass at the end, him and Gabe Davis, they would have been on connection, boy. Hey, that would have been a big upset.
It would have been a big upset because
the
first half, Jalen didn't play like nothing the first half. It was horrible. But Josh Allen was 20. God, he threw that ball 51 times. 29 of 51, 339 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. Jalen was 18 of 31, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. Josh Allen was the leading rusher for the Bills with 9 carries, 81 yards, and 2 touchdowns. DeAndre Swift for the Eagles, 14 carries, 80 yards. Receivers, is that Gabe Davis? Gabe Davis, 6 receptions, 105 yards, 1 touchdown. And for the Eagles, that Bama boy, Devontae Smith, 7 receptions, 106 yards, 1 touchdown.
But the Eagles, though, right now, I got the Eagles winning the Super Bowl.
You know what? They was talking about that on First Take. The Eagles looking good now.
The Eagles, like right now, as all the teams that's in the NFL right now, I got the Eagles winning it, bro.
And think about it. They're finishing games. Yes, they might be only winning by a field goal, but they finishing. That's exactly
like the game that they playing now. These games that you need come for upcoming playoff season. Like you down, but you still fight back and still pulling these games out.
Yeah, you know who they got Sunday, don't you?
The 49ers.
And they picked the Eagles to lose.
Man, I got the Eagles winning that game.
The Eagles are underdogs for that game.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That is crazy. I got the Eagles winning that game. I'm not going to say a blowout, but I got the Eagles winning that game.
It ain't even the Sunday night game. It's like the Sunday 3 o'clock game, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, there better be some good Sunday night games then.
Ravens and Chargers this past Sunday night game.
That was a better game than I thought it was going to be.
It was. The Ravens pulled it off 20-10.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Herbert, I don't know. I don't think he was worth the money he got. But I said that on one of the very first episodes of the podcast.
You did. I thought he was gonna have a better season what he doing, but I don't know what's going on. But they did. I can't even say it's the defense. I don't know, bro.
Justin Herbert was 29 of 44, 217 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He was the leading rusher also, with 4 carries and 47 yards. Keenan Allen had 14 receptions and 106 yards. Lamar Jackson, 18 to 32, 177 yards and a touchdown. Who is K. Mitchell for the Ravens? I don't know who that is.
I don't know.
He had 9.
You said Lamar Jackson. How many yards? My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
177.
Okay.
K. Mitchell, 9 carries, 64 yards. Likely 4 receptions, 40 yards.
Yeah, that's the backup for Mark Andrews, the tight end.
Okay.
I remember I was watching the game.
Mm-hmm. The Ravens looking pretty good too now.
The Ravens do. They the Raiders. They like the number 1 team
in that division.
Yeah. I got the division standing 2. Go ahead and say the last score. But the Ravens, like I said, they been balling though.
Yeah, they looking good. All right, the Monday night game. It was now by this score, you would think this was a very good defensive game.
It was just a bad offensive game. It was just
a horrible offensive game.
Offensive game.
Of course, we're talking about the Monday night game, Chicago versus the Vikings. Chicago pulled it off 12-10.
Mm-hmm.
Our boy Josh.
He
had a horrible game. Look, Ryan Clark tweeted, Josh Dobbs' carriage done finally turned back into a pumpkin. But Josh,
everybody had bad games.
Yeah, Josh was 22 of 32, 185 yards, 1 touchdown, and 4 interceptions. And he threw for 4 interceptions. But if I'm not mistaken, 2 of those interceptions, his receiver tipped the ball, and that helped the Bears get the interception. So they weren't all on him, you know.
Yeah, but it's still kind of stashy.
It's still kind of against him.
I don't know what happened. I watched some of the game, but not all of it. But now we've been saying all week, you can't have turnovers.
Yeah.
Cannot have turnovers.
Justin Fields was 27 to 37 with 217 yards. He was also his team's leading rusher with 12 carries and 59 yards. And DJ Moore had 11 receptions for 114 yards. So, I mean, like I said, this was really not a good defensive game. It was just 2 sorry offenses. Yeah.
2 sorry offenses, man. But before we move on from the NFL, I got division standing for each division after week 12. All right, we're going to start with the AFC. In the AFC East with Miami, Buffalo, the Jets, and the Patriots. That's the order right there, y'all. My bad. Miami number 1, Buffalo, the Jets, and the Patriots. In the AFC North is Baltimore, and with the lead number 1, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, then Cincinnati last.
See, Pittsburgh number 2 in their division. They gonna accidentally get in the playoffs.
They gonna accidentally get in the playoff for real. AFC South, we got Jacksonville at number 1, the Colts at number 2, Houston at 3, and Tennessee at the last at number 4. Hey, Houston and the Colts, they both 6 and 5.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see who end up in the number 2 spot.
I wonder if they do play each other one more time.
I don't know.
And the AFC West, you got Kansas City number 1, the Broncos number 2, the Raiders number 3, and then the Chargers number 4.
Like out that division, I would have thought Kansas City was 1, Chargers 2, Denver 3, and Raiders last.
I probably even switched Denver and the Raiders.
Yeah.
Crazy thing is Denver 2, but they beat the Chiefs. They count as a division
Yeah,
win.
Sure does. Yeah.
All right, going to the NFC East, you got the Eagles number 1, Dallas number 2, Giants number 3, and Washington number 4. But Giants Washington got the same record though.
Mm-hmm.
Both sorry record. NFC North, you got Detroit number 1, Minnesota number 2, Green Bay 3, and Chicago at number 4. And then NFC South, you got Atlanta, the Falcon number 1. That's crazy. Then the Saints at 2, Tampa Bay at 3, then Panthers at the 4th spot.
The Falcons number 1 right now because they beat the Saints. They got the same record, but they beat the Saints.
Again, the division count. And then the NFC West, you got San Francisco number 1, my Seahawks number 2, Rams at 3, and then Arizona at the 4th spot.
You know what, though? In the NFC North, I hate to say it, but it wouldn't surprise me if Green Bay moved up into the number 2 spot.
They might.
Over the Vikings.
Because they beat the Lions, though.
Yeah.
That's a division win.
So that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Hey, we just gonna have to see how it play out.
Yep. That's interesting though. Anything else in football?
No, I think that's about it on the football side.
Let's go on to the NBA.
Yeah, man. Hey, from this episode right here, Top Game Tuesday on the NBA, we got a little bit more stuff to talk about because we didn't talk about it Saturday on the podcast because it was way longer than we expected. But, you know, it's just how it be. We was the first visual show, so we just going
It
with
was
the
a
fly.
vibe, man.
Just good feeling, man. I got to go definitely tune in there, bro, for real.
Yeah. But the NBA last night, the Lakers played against the Philadelphia 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
They lost by 34. The Lakers did.
Bro, for real? You got any stats on that game?
I don't have the stats, but I do know they said that was LeBron's largest loss ever.
I believe it. Hold on, I'm about to pull up some stats for that game. You said last night?
Yep.
Okay, I'm about to pull up some stats for that game. I know AD ain't do nothing.
He ain't do nothing.
I know AD ain't.
But look,
okay, the score of that game was Philadelphia 138, Lakers 94.
Yep.
Okay, Anthony Davis, he had a better game than what I thought. He had 17 points with 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. He was 50% from the field, but he had 4 fouls. LeBron had 18 points, 0 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block.
He has no rebounds. That hurt you right there.
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell, 12 points. Man, Austin Reeves, 12 points.
I saw on TikTok.
Man, let me see what the 76ers did. Go ahead.
I saw on TikTok a little snippet of the game that game last night.
Yeah.
In the third quarter, 3 straight possessions. The Lakers defense, it was D'Angelo Russell on one fell asleep dude made a 3. That he's not the Chinese boy and he not Prince. I can't think of his name.
Talking about,
he started with an H.
Yeah, Hachimura. Yeah.
But not the Chinese one, the other one. He black.
I don't know who
I can't think his name, but anyway, he fell asleep on 2 of the plays. They got a 3-pointer and a dunk on him. And at the third time it happened, LeBron just looked at all 3 of them like, bruh.
Man, what y'all doing,
yes.
man?
And they asked LeBron what did he think they need to do better so they won't have another embarrassing loss like this.
Yeah.
He said a lot.
A lot. Get them boys in the gym. But,
okay.
Man, but the 76ers, Joel Embiid had 30 points, 11 rebounds, and 11 assists. Triple-double with a steal and a block. Tyrese Maxey, he had 31 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal. Nicholas Batum, he had 10 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists with 3 steals. And then they just had some old players like Morris with 16 points, Patrick Beverly 12 points. Just let the 76 just dominated.
Yeah, they just dominated.
Triple up, but Tyrese Maxey been balling, bro.
The 76ers been balling since they got rid of James Harden.
Exactly. You see what the problem is?
Yeah.
You see what the problem is? We've been saying that
though. Sticking with LeBron, he has played the most minutes in NBA
history. Yep, he just passed on. Let me go to it right here.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yep, with 66,298 minutes played, including regular season and playoffs.
But like we said on the earlier show on the podcast, LeBron gonna be the leader in like
everything.
everything.
Exactly, he been
the good or bad because nobody else gonna have the longevity that he has had.
Exactly. Literally, like, bro, it's gonna be so long for anybody else break this record, bro.
So
like, ain't nobody else probably gonna break. He gonna be number one, like said, pretty much everything for a long time.
But pull up that Clippers Nuggets game from last night.
From last night, I got you.
The Clippers lost last night to the Nuggets.
Yep, 113 to 104.
And the Nuggets did not have Joker or Murray playing.
Bro, Reggie Jackson went for 35 points, 5 rebounds with 13 assists. DeAndre Jordan had 21 points, 13 rebounds with 5 assists.
DeAndre Jordan with the
he got a ring with the Nuggets.
Really? I didn't know that.
He be on the bench. That's how crazy
really thought
it is.
He was retired.
That's how crazy. Michael Porter Jr. had 8 points, 10 rebounds. He wanted to start. He had the least amount of points. KCP, Kader Caldwell Pope, he had 12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. And Drew Holiday, brother, I don't know his name, but it's Jay Holiday, had 12.6 rebounds as well.
What James Harden them do?
Let me go to the Clippers. They had Kawhi Leonard had 31 points, 8 rebounds with 3 assists with 1 steal and 2 blocks. Zubac, their center, had 23 points, 14 rebounds, 1 assist with a block. Russell Westbrook, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. Ian Powell with 10 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Paul George only had 6 points. James Harden only had 11 points.
So basically, it was Russ and Kawhi last night.
And the center, Zubac.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
But The Clippers, they have won some games
Since
but not many.
Nope.
Like 2 or 3 haven't been many.
Garbage.
Yeah.
Trash.
But yeah, we need to talk about something that we weren't able to talk about Saturday because, like we said, it was the first visual show, and we had a football player on there. So
yeah, we just most spend all the time on football side, you know.
Right, but last week, Chris Paul got ejected from the game when they were playing the Phoenix Suns. Scott Foster was the referee, and Scott Foster.
Yeah, when the Warriors playing the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
I was saying, thinking like, Chris Paul on the Sun. My bad, y'all.
But Scott Foster was the referee that ejected him.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it's some kind of bad blood between Chris Paul and Scott Foster. And I don't know how true this story is. Allegedly, I saw the story that people are telling.
Yeah.
Now, allegedly, back, I don't know how long ago it's been, but Chris Paul's son, little Chris, and Chris Paul's daddy, big Chris, and some more kids.
Hold on. Before you keep going, can you stop saying little Chris?
That's what they call him.
I know
Chris.
that, but can you just be like Chris Paul's son and Chris Paul's dad? You throwing me out with this little Chris, big Chris. You throwing me out.
Okay. Well, Chris Paul's son and Chris Paul's daddy.
There you go.
And some more kids were outside in the tunnel waiting on the basketball Chris Paul to come out after the game.
Okay.
Chris Paul's daddy was watching the kids, making sure they were behaving, doing what they were supposed to do. Allegedly, a car rolls by that Scott Foster and some other referees are in. They let down the window and start yelling at the kids, saying, "Get the F out the way," just cursing and some more stuff.
Well, that's unnecessary.
Exactly. Chris Paul, the basketball player, finds out about it. Okay, you yelling at my kids, you know.
Exactly. He a parent. He gonna be mad. Exactly.
Forget basketball. This is my child.
Exactly. Real life.
Exactly. So the NBA finds out about this. And they have allegedly they have a secret meeting with Scott Foster, the referees, and Chris Paul. The NBA just sweeps it under the rug, don't even talk about it. And all of a sudden, Scott Foster is not officiating any of Chris Paul's games.
Yeah, okay.
Until the Phoenix Suns played the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, I was about to say he refereed one of the playoff games.
Yeah, it was one of the playoffs game. And the Suns were like Vegas, the odds were ridiculously in the Suns' favor.
Yeah.
But when it was announced that Scott Foster would be one of the refs for that game,
yeah, it changed.
It changed.
Because
like I can't remember the numbers that they said.
Chris Paul is like 2 of 2 with 17 with Scott Foster being a referee.
Yep. And that first game back, the Suns did lose that game.
Exactly. He was waiting on it. He was just waiting on it for it to come back when he could referee again.
Yes, but if that story is true, I understand why Chris Paul.
But I think that might have a little truth to it. Cause I saw this other TikTok where it said that it didn't have all the information that you had, but it was like they saw a few information saying like why people saying involving his son. He didn't know the exact reason, but it said it had something to do with his son, and that the NBA had a meeting involving Chris Paul's dad as well. He didn't have a reason why.
But in the press conference after the game, Chris Paul said he said something to my son.
Yeah,
and at that time I hadn't heard this story, so I didn't know what he was
really
talking
happened,
about.
yeah.
But when you put 2 and 2 together, it is equaling 4 in this situation.
It makes sense, exactly. But at the same time, the NBA should never just
sweeping under the rug. They should have, if they were gonna keep Scott Foster, they should never let him officiate
another Chris Paul game, because now it's opening this story back up and it's gonna make the NBA look bad. If you really want to sweep under the rug, you should just kept them away from each other at all times.
Exactly. But now
it's coming back out. And plus, Chris Paul is like on the committee with the NBA.
No, not anymore.
He ain't.
The NFL, not NFL, NBA,
PA
or something like that. He was the vice. He was either the president or the vice president, but he's not anymore. It's if I'm not mistaken, it's Joe Dumars now, a former Detroit Piston guard.
Oh, okay.
And the only reason I know that is because, let's stick with the Warriors, Draymond should be coming back soon, right?
Yeah, he should be.
And he did an interview the other day, and basically what he said was he don't regret doing what he did to Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, Draymond said that.
And if he had to do it again, he would. So what you think about that?
Man, that is crazy. Bro, no way you just say that, bro. That is, for one, you got a name that you got to protect for yourself and for the NBA. And for two, why is you even doing it? You not protecting your teammate doing it. All Rudy Gobert was going, well, it looked like to me, Rudy Gobert was just going up there trying to break it up.
Yeah.
And you just went up there and caused more trouble. So why would you want to do that? That's stopping the game. That don't mean you don't want to play basketball. I mean, you want to fight.
And it's hurting your team.
Exactly.
And
you clearly see what's happening without they lose. I've been saying that the Warrior can't function without Draymond Green.
Yeah. And like I said, getting back to Joe Dumars, he made the comment that it was 5 games because Draymond was a habitual offender when it came to that. But I feel like because he is a habitual offender, it should have been more than 5
exactly.
games.
Draymond, bro, in these past few seasons, Draymond been getting ejected so much that he got to pay a fine like every time he get ejected or something like that. Like that, bro, that is a problem. And you got kids looking up to this man, bro, trying to model their game after. Now, what if you got a little kid going out there and they just choking another team, a person on another team for no reason?
And they say, well, Draymond do it.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's a bad image.
So it's going to be, and then I think when he does come back, the referee's going to officiate him like super hard. He ain't even going to be able to breathe hard without getting a tick, you know? So he going to have to learn how to keep his cool and just calm down.
But hey, y'all, what was you about to say? Go ahead.
No.
One thing before we close out the show, one thing that we forgot to mention on college football, and I know why we forgot to mention it because we didn't even talk about the Egg Bowl because we talked about it Saturday.
Yeah.
But Mississippi State got them a new coach.
Yeah, they got that boy from where you come from, Oklahoma.
I think that's what it said.
I think
I think it said Oklahoma.
It's sad. I don't even know where he came from.
I know it ain't Levy.
His name is Jeff Levy.
Yeah, Jeff Levy.
They he used to be at Ole Miss. He was offensive coordinator on the Lane Kiffin.
Okay.
And of course, Lane Kiffin been trolling him on Twitter already. Anyway, Lane.
But yeah, a lot of people been saying that it's a good move.
Yeah,
it's a good pickup for him.
Heard, the Mississippi State fan base seems to like
this
choice.
I hope it be good for y'all. I hope it brings some recruits. Honestly,
I saw on Twitter or X, I'm sorry, that he contacted JJ Harrell yesterday.
Okay.
And he told them, son, basically he said, son, be ready because you finna get a lot of plays. Man. So, I mean, if I was a player and the new coach contacted me, I'm like, okay, coach, let's go. I'm ready.
Coach, send me the playbook right now. I'm going to go ahead and study. I've been training, so just let me know what I got to do.
Right. But
and honestly, I wonder what Stonker gonna do.
Is Stonker gonna recommit? That's a good question. That's gonna be interesting.
Cause like even though he said that, I mean he the only one that's still committed there. Like so you can't. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what he gonna do.
That's gonna be interesting to see in these upcoming days.
Like that right there gonna be interesting in how many other recruits decide to come to Mississippi State
because they got him. And another thing that they said too on social media that I agree with, because he worked at Ole Miss, he knows how to recruit for the SEC.
Exactly.
And from Mississippi. So that's a plus.
Did he say he was the offensive coordinator? Exactly. He know how to recruit and run offense in the SEC. That's what you need with an SEC team as coach.
Yep. But I got the terms of his contract. He signed Mississippi State coach Jeff Levy contract is 4 years, $4.5 million.
Okay.
And he had some incentives, of course. His average annual base compensation is $4,510,000. Performance incentives: $50,000 if named SEC Coach of the Year.
Okay.
$100,000 if named National Coach of the Year.
Okay.
$125,000 for each regular season win against an SEC opponent, starting with the 5th SEC opponent win. So
he got to get 5 SEC wins before he start making $125,000.
Well, 4 on the 5th one he started making the money.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, that's really not. It's not hard, but it's Mississippi State though.
And also the SEC done changed now too.
Exactly. So you got to see though. What else he get?
Out of these two, he would get the highest of the following: $100,000 for SEC championship game appearance, or $250,000 for winning the SEC conference championship game. So if he win the SEC, he get $250,000.
But if he just appear in the game, he get
$100,000.
Hey, Mississippi State. That's a smart deal there. Because they didn't pay him too much, they didn't pay him too less, and you gotta work for more.
Exactly.
Hey, that's a smart pickup by Mississippi State right there.
Okay, now he would get the highest of the following of these: $100,000 for participation in Birmingham, Independence, or any other SEC Tier 3 bowl game. I don't know what Tier 3 bowl game
I don't know
is.
what they would consider a Tier 3 bowl game.
He gets $150,000 for participation in one of the following bowl games: Tax Slayer, Reliable Quest, Dupes, Mayo, Las Vegas, Music City, Texas, or Liberty Bowl.
Okay, I done heard of all those.
Yeah, I have
games.
too. And honestly, Mississippi State, if they don't go nowhere else, they go right up the road to the Liberty Bowl.
Exactly.
I mean,
how many wins Mississippi State got this
they
year?
ain't gonna make no bowl game this year.
I know that, but to get a bowl game, you gotta have
6. They got 5.
Oh, okay.
They should have, if they had to beat Ole Miss.
that probably okay.
He would get $200,000 for participation in the Citrus Bowl game.
Okay.
$250,000 for participation in the first round of the college football playoffs. In which, with it going to 12 teams now,
Hey, they might. They might. The 12-team bracket.
Yeah.
It'll be easy. Be top 12.
$350 for advancing to a college football playoffs quarterfinal game. $500,000 for advancing to a college football semifinal game. $750,000 for playing in the national championship game.
Okay.
And $1 million if you win it.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
like I said, that is a great contract. Mississippi State got together for him and negotiated for him because, like I said, they didn't go all off the wall like Texas A&M paying $50 million for a coach, and then he actually got to work for the money. Like Mississippi State, they often know that they haven't been winning games like they really just wanted to, so they got to make it work for it.
Yeah, and I mean, like we said, with the college football system going to 12 teams next year, that could be a real possibility if if them boys come in. That's just like I was talking to one of the doctors I work with today. Like he said, if it was a 12-team system now, Ole Miss would have got in.
Ole Miss would have got in.
Ole Miss would have got in.
Right there behind it. Yep. Who number 12? Let me see. Who number 12?
So, LSU, I think.
Nah, it'd be Oklahoma. LSU just missed the cut.
So, I mean, this 12-game system going to
that 12-team
shake
bracket
stuff
going to
up.
make a huge difference. A huge difference. But y'all, I think that might be it for this episode of Top Game Tuesday. It's a little longer episode this time. But y'all, we just coming up, man. A lot of the episode going to be longer, some may be short. You just never know.
But y'all just stay tuned because we got a lot of more stuff coming. We planning, we steady working behind the scenes,
but a lot
trying
of
to
stuff
get better. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us. On the very first episode, if y'all remember, Solomon said, just get in and buckle up. We ain't going to wreck, but it's going to be some bumps.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be some bumps in the road, but we ain't going to wreck. And y'all, we just appreciate all the people, like she said, that's just still been on the ride, still showing us love, man. Continue to show us love for real, because, like she said, we steady working behind the scenes for this podcast, trying to get bigger and better things coming for y'all, man, for real.
All right, until next time, I'm Toya.
I'm Solomon.
Remember, be different.
Peace. That was another episode of Top Game Tuesday. Make sure to listen and download Top Game Tuesday along with the Be Different podcast on Saturday at 2 o'clock on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, and anywhere else where you listen to your podcast, all at the Be Different podcast.
As always, you can follow us on our social media pages, Instagram at _Be Different Podcast, Twitter at _Be Different Pod. Make sure to go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel, Be Different Podcast.